Hey everybody, today is March 28th. It's the fourth Saturday of Lent, and that means that we only have 2 more weeks until Palm Sunday and 3 weeks until Pascha. So the end is close, almost here. Our readings today are from Hebrews and Mark. So it's Hebrews 6, 9 to 12, and Mark 7, 31 to 37. So let's look at the reading from St. Paul's letter to the Hebrews first. The part that I want us to focus on is towards the end. It's a pretty short reading. He says, "And we desire each one of you to show the same earnestness and realizing the full assurance of hope until the end, so that you may not be sluggish, but imitators of those who through faith and patience inherit the promises." And then we have a reading from the Gospel of Mark. And it's the story of how the Lord was going through the land of Tyre, and he goes near the Sea of Galilee, and there they bring him a man who was deaf and had a speech impediment. And instead of healing him in front of everyone, St. Mark says that he pulled him aside and he healed him in private. And then after he healed him in private, he told the man to not tell anybody what had happened. But instead, of course, the man goes and he tells everybody that Jesus has healed him. And then it says that everyone was astonished, and that they said, "He has done all things well. He even makes the deaf hear and the dumb speak." So what I'd like us to talk about a little bit is what is some message that we're going to get out of today's reading from Hebrews and from Mark. First off, Mark is a little different from all the different different gospels. There's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and each gospel book has a slightly different take on each story. And a lot of times Mark emphasizes the Lord's privacy, kind of his teaching more in private, and then trying to encourage people to not just go around shouting it from the rooftops. So for me, what that says is sometimes God is going to heal us or do things for us in a more private, intimate way than in front of everybody and for us to just shout about. So the thing I'd like us to reflect on is, how is God working in our lives privately right now? What is a way that God is working about our salvation, our healing, in a way that not everybody is aware of, or maybe he's doing it a little quieter. It's not as obvious to us right now. And from the reading from Hebrews, it talks about our earnestness, our hope, our faith, and our patience. And it reminds me of a reading from St. James' letter. And at the beginning of James 1, it says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." So when we're dealing with different tests of our faith, it encourages us to be steadfast. And today's reading from Hebrews, to go back to that, it says to desire the same earnestness in realizing the full assurance of hope until the end, so that you may not be sluggish, but imitators of those who through faith and patience inherit the promises. So how is God working in your life in maybe a more quiet, secret way to bring about healing in your life? And how is your faith being tested right now? I think most of our faith is being tested. We're not able to go to liturgy. We're not able to take communion, most of us. We're seeing the services digitally for the first time, often for most of us. And we're scared in a lot of different ways. We're dealing with grief in different ways, grief of the unknown. So how is your faith being tested, and how can you be an imitator of those who through faith and patience inherit the promises? So this is just a short reflection for you today, and I hope that you will join your local parish on the way that they stream their liturgy tomorrow morning. And if you're unsure of a church to watch tomorrow, you're welcome to join us at St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church in Virginia Beach, and I'll make sure to add the link down below, and you can also check out our YouTube streaming tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So until then, I hope that you're well, and we'll see you then. Amen.